Hi guys, back again. I think this is part 3 of the Aqua 1 Reef 400. The first two videos really showed the disappointing finish on our tank, and I forwarded the YouTube links to Aqua 1 in the UK, and or at least I got a reply. I got a fairly standard response saying sorry to see it's damaged, contact the shop you bought it from. Which I've done. I didn't want them to have to go through all the aggro of ordering another one in and picking this one up, but that's the way it's going to have to be done. So Darren at Kettering Aquatics, excellent as always, has been on to Aqua 1. They're sending out a brand new one to him, and then they're going to have to bring it out to us and exchange it, so we're going to have to log it in and out again. But yeah, I don't think we could let that go. Had to be replaced. But we're going to move on now to the lighting that's supplied and the lids, and we just have a closer look at that. There are 4 T5 tubes, and it comes with what looks like a reasonable length of cable, plug, and a simple on-off switch there. Of course, you could rig this up to a timer. I suspect, well, in fact I know we're going to be fitting LEDs instead of this, but the unit that is supplied is it's quite nice. It fits very well into the tank. There's a little plastic lip here, and that goes over the lip at the top of the tank, and it holds it up nice and clear of any water splashes and that sort of thing. So yeah, quite good. The actual lid, just going to grab half, and we'll just have a look how that fits in. You'll notice there is a little groove just in there, and you've got one at each end, and you simply, if I can with one hand, pop the lid in like that, and in there, and it just shuts to give quite a nice flush surface to the top of the tank. It's the same the other side, exactly the same width, and yeah, each one just pivots up like that for access to the lights or feeding, whatever you need to do. Let me just lift that off again. There are 4 clip-on reflectors, and again, very highly reflective. A little bit bent here and there. You can see the reflection in this one where it's just been it's been dinged somewhere in shipping or manufacturing. The edges are bent over, and on this one you can probably see it's not been bent over quite right, and that is absolutely razor sharp. So if you're handling these, just be careful of these edges, because that will slice straight through your finger. But they just simply clip into place like that, and that's job done. Nothing much to say about this. You'll notice that you've got covers on the end that are screwed in place. They've slightly staggered these, and I suspect that's been done so they can get the mains cable in there. Yeah, not really any other way of doing that, really. You kind of it coming out the end, and you really don't want a cable coming out of the top. That would ruin the finish of the the flush look of the top. So they've just decided to stagger the tubes very slightly. No issues with that. Notice this screw-on cap has a little silicone O-ring there, and it's just to protect the contacts and the power from any water. Struggling to do this with one hand, easily cross those threads, but yeah, there we go. That's in. That one there looks a bit dodgy. But yeah, so pretty much waterproof, I would expect. Well, certainly water resistant as much as you're going to need. So yeah, absolutely no issues with the light supplied, but I think we're going to change them out for a couple of LEDs. I'm not quite decided which ones yet, but probably no issues with the ones that are supplied, except you can't have the usual, dawn and dusk effect. It's either on or off if you use the switch or a timer, but that may well be adequate for a lot of people. But we've got used to the dawn and dusk effects on the Kent Marine, so we'll definitely be going that route. But absolutely no issues with the lid, all very nicely made.